Hey everyone, it's me Gavin Vengeance and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at our brand new event in Goddess Victory NIKKE, For Rest. Yeah, that's right, For Rest, not Forest. It is going to be featuring our brand new character, Trina. I believe that's how it's pronounced because she resembles a birch tree. I thought initially that she was a cow type girl, but apparently she is not. She is a tree. She is based on a birch bark tree, right? Okay, birch tree. Anywho, we're very, very excited to check out this brand new character, this whole new event, see what's going on with it. So without further ado, let's dive into it. And if you guys are new here, I would highly encourage you to please give the video a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel for more Goddess Victory NIKKE content. But as you guys can see, we have our brand new event, For Rest. System error. Uh-oh, that's not good. Is it going to kick me out of the game? I feel like it's probably going to kick me out of the game and then make me re-log in, and I really hope that's not the case because I want to get this underway, right? I want to talk about this stuff. Okay, let's see. Maybe that was just a little blip. We're going to keep our fingers crossed for that one. It says right here, a new spring has begun in the Ark, bringing along with it a warm and dizzying array of various emotions. For some, spring brings about excitement, while for others, a feeling of revitalization, and for others still, it brings a sense of nostalgia. Alright, that seemed pretty cool. And again, as you guys can see here, SSR, Trina, she is a rocket launcher user, electric code, missileless. I know a lot of people are going to be holding off, more than likely, for pulling for her because we have some exciting stuff coming up in the future, like the 2.5 anniversary event, and then potential collaboration with, or eventual collaboration with Stellar Blade in the future. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but you guys can see right here, there are a couple of prize events going on as well. Trina's 96-hour challenge, not really sure what that entails. Let's click into it and find out. That's the easiest way, right? Trina, a guardian from Botanic Garden, I can't speak, revitalizes every leaf on the Ark with a life flowing from her fingertips. As the Sakura Blossom Festival on the Ark begins, can Mr. Sun, the commander, understand Trina's feelings? Okay, so she refers to us as Mr. Sun, I guess. For the next 96 hours, starting from today, use your creativity and imagination to let Trina's plant philosophy thrive widely in your hands. Okay, so I'm guessing these events are going to be available over on Blah Blah Link, which is the community page for Goddess Victory NIKKE. That's my guess. Looks like what? Win 3,000 gems, gift cards, and other exciting lucky prizes. Okay, you got to submit a strategy guide in order to win this one, which is For Rest guide submission event. So again, lots of exciting stuff going on here. Again, system notice telling us about all the update and everything that it involves, all that good stuff. You guys want to read over that in your own time, feel free to do so. You can find that again just up here in the notices in game. Anyways, we got a new event to take a look at. We're going to be going through the entirety of the story, but first and foremost, as it is customary over here on the channel, not that I want to be spending my recruit vouchers, but we're going to do at least one 10 pull and see if we can't get Trina, right? We're going to try to recruit her immediately. Keep our fingers crossed for this one, right? Wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. No SSR. There it is. It is what it is. We'll come back to that at some point, more than likely, and if we get her, we get her. We will continue to save for upcoming things that I'm very excited for, but that is just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, right? Anyway, we're going to be taking a look. For Rest, let's go. Let's dive into the event. Let's meet Trina. Warm sunlight. A gently fluttering breeze. Flowers sprouting up and blossoming one by one, dotting the land with color. In the Ark, spring has begun, bringing along with it a warm and dizzying array of emotions. I feel like I just read this. For some, the overriding emotion is excitement. Hello, my lovely Lupins. Welcome to Rupee's magnificent Shopaholic channel. Today, I'm here at the Cherry Blossom Park, but do any of you know why? I know! The Spring Festa! Did I get it right? The correct answer is to introduce the upcoming Cherry Blossom Base Festival, the Spring Festa! Woohoo! Did you guys see that? I never miss. Fine. I believe we got together today to work on our homework. Come on, relax. It's not even that much work. I can just copy it later. I'll be fine. Besides, if you don't watch Rupee's show as it's happening, You can't watch it later. That's the entirety or entire purpose of a live stream, right? You got to catch it live. Spring Festa is one of the 10 most anticipated events in the Ark, and it's just around the corner. How do you all feel? Aren't you excited? Super duper excited. I've already been losing sleep thinking about catching a glimpse of the cherry blossoms from the surface. Me too. By the way, Zwei, are you coming to the festival this year? I hadn't given it much thought. You're going, aren't you? Aren't you? I knew it! I knew you'd decide to come along. Let's see. We'll need to prepare a camera, a picnic mat, and... I suppose it'll be fine to take one day off. What about you, Miss Privity? Would you like to come to the festival with us? Huh? Me? Yeah, didn't you hear? For this year's festival, cherry blossoms from the surface will be open to the public. If you stand underneath them and share a kiss with someone's with a special someone, your love will last forever. It couldn't possibly be the commander, could it? Eternal love? That's right. Isn't it positively heartwarming? So, as long as you share a kiss under the cherry blossoms, your love will be eternal? Are you alright, Miss Privity? You look like you're up to something. What? No. I'm not up to anything. For others, spring brings a feeling of revitalization. It's spring. That means the Festival of Harmony will begin soon. No, wait, that's not it. It's called the Spring Festa now. It's been a while since the name changed, but it still doesn't quite stick in my brain. No wonder Anise always says I'm behind on the times. Then again, I'm old at heart. What in the name? Anyway. Or wait, what's in the name? I don't know. Festival of Harmony, Spring Festa. What does it matter which it is? What's important is that everyone has a good time. I hope this year's festival is a joyful one. For others still, it brings a sense of nostalgia. Hello there, Trina! How was my day? Same as always. I took care of the little ones in the arbitorium. Or I don't know. Anyway, and had tea with Flora and Leaf. That's pretty much it. Oh, I haven't been hearing a lot about the festival lately. Looks like spring really has arrived in the Ark. This festival? You know as well as I do that the so-called everlasting Sakura is nothing but an illusion. Nature, at least real nature, does not exist in the Ark. So, I don't think I'll be going. It's okay. One day, I swore an oath to protect this garden, and I've upheld that oath ever since. I have no interest in illusory facsimiles of nature. Alright! That's a little, she's real at least, you know what I mean? She keeps things real is all I'll say. She's not willing to beat around the bush and, you know, gloss over things. She takes it at face value for what it is. Let's go and see. I really like that splash art, by the way, too. Very, very relaxing, super chill vibes. Let's see what our reward boosted Nikkes are here. We've got Trina, of course, who I was unfortunate and not able to get currently. Biscuit, Flora, Leader, Julia, Soline. Got N102, Delta, and Mihara. Okay, so let's go and put together our little team here. Obviously, we're going to be using a Leader. Let's go with Flora because she fits the bill. We'll throw Biscuit in there too for good measure. And then we will also throw in Soline because I wasn't able to get Trina. Can I use, like, Trial Trina, possibly? No, we got Marciana and Alice. It doesn't look like Trial Trina is in here, probably just in the shooting range, right? But that's fine. We can just go with Julia for now because that's everybody's favorite unit, right? Let's continue forth. Mission 1-1. When it's time for the sun to set, I begin to climb the hill. I don't know why. I just felt like it. It's a habit, I suppose. One day, as I was crumpling up an already crumpled piece of paper once more, and staring up at the sky, I was suddenly enveloped in shadow. What was your day like? That was how I first met her. You look sad, so I decided to talk to you. I'm not bothering you, am I? At the time, I felt like she was. I am, aren't I? I thought if I kept quiet, she'd stop bothering me and leave me alone. This has got to be from Trina's perspective of just trying to, like, be a tree, right? What are you holding on to? An ARC lottery ticket? I see. But she didn't respond the way I expected. Your family is up there, aren't they? Instead, she placed a flower petal in my hand. If you let the wind carry this, it will eventually reach your family. Wouldn't they prefer a beautiful flower over a scrap piece of paper? The petal fluttered up and away from my hand, and the wind carried it up high. I stood there blankly for a while, watching it fly away as she sat next to me. I'm Rena. What's your name? For reasons I can't quite explain, even though I had never spoken since coming down to the Ark. Coming down to the Ark? On that day, my lips parted for the first time. Trina. Coming down to the Ark? From the surface? So was she up on the surface for a long time, I wonder? Possibly? Trina. Trina? Yes? Are you ready? Oh, just a moment. It's just... seeing these flowers brought me back for a moment. Is everyone ready? Right. We're ready, Flora. Alright. Are you all ready too? Okay. Lilac and Margaret are joining us, and they're ready as well. Are those the names of the little chickadees, little birdies up here, possibly? Now then, shall we begin the tea party? Sounds good. I'm sorry, but I have a question. For us? What is it? Well, Flora places a teacup in front of Mana. Lilac worries that it might be rude to keep a guest waiting without serving them some refreshments. Margaret thinks so as well. So, before we hear Aster's question, why don't we serve the drinks first? Would warm water be sufficient for you, Aster? Sure. She really does have nicknames for everybody, right? And you, Trina? Could I please have warm water as well? As for the little ones, they would prefer some cold water, please and thank you. There we are. Now that we're properly prepared, we can commence our tea party. So, what was your question, Aster? It's... what am I doing at your tea party? Oh dear, what a question. We're not making you uncomfortable, are we? That makes me kind of sad. Dude, her eyes. It's not that, but... wonderful. So there isn't any problem. I came here on business. I had no intention of being involved in a tea party. Master, the Botanical Garden Squad holds regular tea parties. During these gatherings, we discuss all manner of matters, with the plants growing in our greenhouse. However, as you know, Trina and I rarely leave the garden, so we often don't have much to share with the little ones. Very true. Usually, it's not a big deal, since we have Leaf with us. But She's up on the surface right now, bringing in new little ones. So please, if it's not too much trouble, could you tell the children about what is going on in the outside world? That's kind of a big question to answer. Lilac and Margaret are curious as well. My little ones also want to know. Then who the heck is Lilac and Margaret? Are they nicknames for the commander and somebody else, possibly? Honestly pretty similar to you guys. I spent all my time in the research lab. I don't have many stories to tell. Today's the first time that I've made it out of the lab in a week. Oh. Well then, how about we listen to the radio? Seems like it's going to be a very, action-packed tea party, right? A very thrilling one at that. That's what it seems like to me. The only government-approved anti-aging injection in the Ark. Evergreen. Enjoy your youth for longer. They just keep playing the same ad over and over. If I'm not mistaken, the Sovereigns were the only ones who could receive Evergreen. After the first invasion, the Ark's production system wasn't yet fully established. Before the prices eventually stabilized, it was seen as a luxury item only the Sovereigns could afford. Now, however, everyone has easy access to it, which is a good thing. Yes, it's a relief. And we're back. Right now, you're listening to Classic Diva, hosted by me, Noise. In part 2, we will be reading stories from our listeners and playing your song requests. Since the Spring Festa is right around the corner, we've gathered some romantic stories related to spring guaranteed to make your hearts flutter. We'll be accepting story submissions all the way through the festival. So, if you've got one, be sure to send it in to the program. Before we read the stories, I'll give a brief introduction to the Spring Festa. This year's festival is jam-packed with all sorts of special events. Since we've got Miss Alyssa's very own Botanical Garden Squad on deck as hosts, not only will the cherry blossoms from the surface be open to the public, but the Ark's gardens will also be available for viewing. So you can all look forward to the... Flora turns off the radio. She's like, I'm not having that. Yes, I know, Lilac. This is my first time hearing about this one too. What's that, Margaret? How could they make this kind of decision without telling us? Unfortunately, this world is filled with people who don't consider the thoughts and feelings of others. Ain't that the truth? You'd like to know who? Well, I'm sorry. Allow me to apologize on their behalf. I was going to mention it earlier, but I originally came here to convey orders from Suyin. Lobelia issued orders for us? Yes. In the interest of upholding market shares, Miss Alice has secured the rights to run this year's Spring Festa. Botanical Garden is to spare no expense in ensuring the festival's success, including opening the gardens. If Lobelia is the one that arranged this deal, then why is the responsibility being thrust on us? Because it's a festival focused on flowers, which makes you perfect for it. It's not like we'd be able to refuse anyway. Okay then, so, for the festival... No, we refuse. Trina? We mustn't open the garden. We can't. You do realize the consequences of disobeying Suyin's orders, don't you? It doesn't matter. What do you mean by that? This is what we can do. The domain which we oversee is divided into 3 sections. My garden, which is filled with flowers. Trina's arboretum, dude, how do I even say this? Arboretum? Arboretum. Yep, filled with trees. Sound it out, Gavin. And Leaf Specimen Lab filled with seeds. For the festival, we'll open up my section, and my section only. Will that be acceptable? I'll report back to Sue and I'll let you know. How about you, Trina? Are you okay with that? Yes. Thank you, Flora. Good. Now then, Aster, is your work done here? Yes. But there's something personal I would like to speak with you about. With me? Rene's research lab will be cleared out soon, before the end of the festival. If you left anything important there, you should retrieve it before then. Unless you left everything there intentionally. Interesting. Very interesting. As the sun starts to set, I begin my habitual climb up the hill. I must have done it so regularly because of the view. The view of the Ark is beautiful from up there. One day, as I stood on the hill and looked down at the city, I felt a shadow come over me. That's how I first met him. I was wondering where he went. In case you forgot, residency registration is today. Say that 10 times fast. What are you doing out here? I know this is the first time we've interacted properly, and I hate coming off as a nag. But let's try to be punctual, okay? So, are you worried about joining our squad? No? Then what are you doing up here? Looking so desperate. I realize that you've done rare support work in the Ark, so the notion of going up to the surface must feel overwhelming. You only became a NIKKE toward the end of the second surface reclamation war, so you've never had the opportunity to head up to the surface. Don't look so surprised. I'm your commander after all. I should know a bit about your background. So did this take place before she met Rene? Because she said she met Rene before going down to the Ark, and this guy's talking about before she went up to the surface. Does that... So, or did this happen, like, way after Rene? Now then, why don't we hang out here together? Mind if I stay beside you? Am I an experienced friend? You're not inexperienced, you said? Well, I've certainly spent more time on the surface than you. As he chuckled softly, he stood beside me. I'm Josh Hummett. What's your name? You can call me Leader. Oh, okay, so this is different. This is different. A credit for your thoughts. Leader? Oh, hey, Senti. I've been thinking a lot about the past lately, maybe because it's springtime. Anyway, don't worry about it. It's not that important. Are you done preparing for vacation? Yeah. I know I took a while, but I'm still not sure if I'm happy with my outfit. No, you look great. I know you're just being nice, but even so, thank you for helping me pick this out. Pick out this outfit. You know what I meant to say. Please, considering how much you've done for me, it's the least I can do. In fact, correct me if I'm not mistaken, but is this your first vacation? Is it? I guess I've never taken a break since joining Mighty Tools. Was she not involved in the Blue Water Island event? Is that not a vacation? At the beach? Since it's your first vacation, what do you plan on doing? I don't really have any plans. I have plenty of time, so I'm going to mull it over. Is that so? Well, I hope you have a great time. Yes. I hope you have a good time as well, Volt. Leader pulls out an old pocket watch and checks the time. If I don't want to disrupt business, I should head out soon. Senti, while I'm away, don't forget to keep providing our customers with the best service around. Of course. Don't you worry about a thing. We're getting a new shipment of materials and equipment tomorrow, so make sure to give everything a proper once-over. Yes. I'll double and triple check everything. And also, before accepting anything on credit, make sure to confirm the payment deadline first. Don't let people pay without asking any questions like last time. She's just giving her a complete rundown of like, do this, do this, do this, do this. Oh, and another thing. Leader! Yes? You don't have time for this. Your vacation is getting shorter by the minute. Don't worry about me and get a move on. Start resting already. I know people like that. Oh, okay. I meant to only mention one thing, but I guess I ended up going on for a while. It's okay. I understand you're only looking out for me. Don't worry. I paid close attention to every single word you said. You said a new request came in, right? Yeah. From Rion. You know, the Spring Festa that's been being held soon? Missilus is in charge of the festival preparations, and she asked us to build some facilities to use for the festival. As soon as you leave, we're going to start with construction. This is the first time you've been responsible for a task of this magnitude. That's right. Before this, I've always worked together with you. So, I'm both a little worried and a little excited. I promise. I'll do my best to uphold the sterling reputation of Mighty Tools that you've spent your whole life building. Are you sure you'll be fine without me? If you're really worried, I can push back my vacation. Leader, if anyone here is worrying too much, it's you. Relax. Everything will be fine. All I want you to do is kick back, relax, and get ready to congratulate me on on getting a chance to shine on my own. Alright, you, Volt, and I can celebrate when I get back. We can have a nice party. Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Spring Festival, huh? Once the festival starts, there will be crowds of people in most places. Maybe I should visit early and take a peaceful walk along the cherry blossom path. Well, I'll be off. Take care. Let's go, Vault. Alright. Cool. Finally, I have some long-awaited time off. For the moment, I'm ruminating. What should I do? Play some of the video games that are in the library? Dude, I've got way too many in my own backlog. I feel you, Commander. Binge a show where I can turn my brain off? If not that, then... Actually, even if I spend all day racking my brain deciding what to do, I'll be doing it while lying down in my bed. In fact, that, in and of itself, isn't a bad holiday. Good thing I woke up early this morning and hung a note on the door. If there's anything I've learned from recent past, it's that NIKKEs have a proclivity for barging into my room at all hours. And you just jinxed yourself. Just as I'm starting to relax, someone will barge in and get me involved in this or that. So I had to do something about it. So today, I got up extra early and put a note on my door saying that no one is here. As a result, no one has come to disturb me yet. After all, when you've got time off, you should have a chance to kick back and relax. Blossom? Flora? You seem a little startled. Is something wrong? Do you not see the note on my door? Note? Do you mean this? Flora hands me a piece of paper. I'm not in at the moment, so please come back later. Strange, isn't it? Here you are in the commander's room. Yet there's a note saying that you're elsewhere. Someone may be impersonating you as a prank. I'll have to track down the culprit. Just does not get it. She just does not get it. You don't have to go through all that. If you say so. Anyway, what is it this time? Is it Syrian again? Belia certainly does keep us on our toes with unpredictable behavior. But I'm actually here for a different reason this time. Flora proceeds to explain everything that's happened. And at one point, she wanted to shut down the garden, and now she wants to open it up to the public? It must be a real headache dealing with her. Like we don't know. Indeed, it can be. But her wanting to open up the garden also means that she's finally acknowledged us for in some fashion. It's totally not trying to gain favor with you guys right after all the backlash that she's been getting. So in that case, I consider it fortunate. So, what is it that you need me to do? Should I help you with the festival preparations? Oh, that's not why I came here. The festival preparations are going smoothly. Having Happy Zoo help us out the last time, and the garden open worked out nicely. And they've kindly offered to lend us a hand again. However, what is it? I'm worried about Trina. Blossom, how much do you know about Trina? Trina of the Botanical Garden Squad. She tends to the trees in the Arboretum. So strong in desire. So strong is her desire to be one with nature, she often ends up removing her clothes. How about that? Where's Trina right now? At this point, she's probably tending to the trees along the cherry blossom path. That place is crowded with people. Indeed it is. I'm not sure if you're aware, Blossom, but Trina takes her clothes off whenever she feels confined by them. This isn't an issue when she's inside the garden, but it's a different story when she's outside. You usually follow her around to make sure she doesn't do anything too scandalous. But I'm too busy preparing for the festival now, and don't have time to keep an eye on her. Would you be able to look after her in my place? Sure. Gladly. For some reason, it feels like something is going to happen during the Spring Festa. Actually, scratch that. Something always happens whenever I'm supposed to be on the holidays. I'm not in at the moment, so please come back later. I crumble up the note and get up from my seat. I suppose I should get going. Flora said she's at the cherry blossom path. Boss! I've got a favor to ask you. Oh, jeez, here we go again. Now may not be the best time. Oh, really? I've got to head towards the cherry blossom path. Did I just hear you right? I'm so touched, boss. Huh? I didn't even tell you what it is I wanted, and you guessed it straight away. All that time working with you was worth it. We've gotten to a level where words aren't even needed to understand each other. In that case, I'll leave everything to you. I'll see you later. Wait! What is it? What's this favor you keep talking about? I was going to ask you to keep watch over Leader. Leader? Yeah. She's supposed to be on vacation now. But she's going around making things for people instead. I've never known her to take a moment's rest in her life. No matter what the circumstances are, she's always around, or always on the clock. Not around the clock. So, it's not exactly surprising that she's working during her vacation time. In many ways, I do find it remarkable. But even so, a vacation is a vacation for a reason. When it's time to rest, you ought to do just that. So I wanted you to teach Leader how to kick back. You want me to teach her how to relax? That's right. She should be taking a walk among the cherry blossoms. She said she wanted to see them before the festival crowds arrive. Okay, I was about to go there anyway. I'll meet up with her. Thank you. Oh, and there's something else I have to tell you. What's that? I'm going to be taking on my first solo assignment. I'll be constructing all the facilities for the Spring Festa. I'm going to do my best to uphold Mighty Tool's reputation. So, be sure to come to the festival to see my handiwork. I'll be rooting for you. Alright, I better get going. Just as Senti is about to leave, she abruptly snatches the crumpled note from my hand. Trash goes in the trash bin. Maintaining a clean work environment is something I learned from Leader. She proceeds to toss a note in the trash for me. Soon after, Cherry Blossom Path. Fortunately, there aren't any people around. Instead, upon my arrival, I'm greeted by two figures. I feel like I'm suffocating! Trina, twisting and fidgeting in discomfort. Don't be absurd! and Litter, who is standing in front of Trina, scolding her. She's better take her clothes off! So Litter's like, nah, not around this old lady. That day, the petals I let fly from the hill led me to the research lab. Working at the lab with Rena, the days passed quickly. Without saying who was first, we would both climb the hill together. And we looked up at the sky. By the time the sun had set, Rena would ask, "How was your day today?" The days passed one after another, and before we knew it, 5 years had passed. One day, we sat on the hill as always, watching the sun go down. "How was your day today?" "Nothing special. Another ordinary day." "How about you, Rena?" "Me? Same as usual. Conducting some research in the lab, taking care of the little ones. In other words, a very special day. By the way, speaking of the lab, have you ever considered officially joining Botanical Garden? You could take your plant research to the next level. I could take you on as my pupil." That's okay. Thanks." "What do you mean?" I just don't know what the point would be. It's not like researching plants will help with reclaiming the surface. Not that I'm saying what you're doing is a bad thing. I know what you mean. No point, huh? To mark the arrival of spring, I was thinking of holding a festival called the Festival of Harmony. I want to exhibit flowers in remembrance of those who couldn't make it to the Ark during the first invasion. If it's not too much of an imposition, would you be willing to help me with the preparations? I never thought I'd be asked to help with another festival. I've helped with the Spring Festival before. In fact, this will be the third time I've lent a hand for the festival. Are you cheering me on? Thanks. But you don't have to do that. Flora put me in charge of managing the cherry blossom path. There isn't much to it, considering that the trees don't require much intervention. They'll never wither. With a bitter smile, Trina's gaze drifts towards the towering cherry blossom tree in the distance. The tree stands atop a hill, its lush blossoms painting the sky pink. So suffocating. Faced with such breathtaking beauty, Trina collapses to the ground. Can't breathe. Her breathing grows ragged, and she keeps repeating the same sentence over and over. Can't breathe. At some point, can't breathe. In a desperate attempt to make or break free from the illusion she created for herself, can't breathe. In order to get closer to nature, can't breathe. Trina begins to tear off her clothes. Can't breathe. At the same time, what in the world are you doing? The moment I joined a new squad, I was thrown headlong into intensive training. By the time it was over, my body felt like it was falling apart at the seams. Nevertheless, I continued to climb up the hill. As I gazed down onto the city, I heard Josh's voice. What are you doing over here? It's almost dinner time. We've got to make sure to be on time, alright? Before I knew it, there was only 1 week left until deployment. That day as well, I was up on the hill, looking down at the city. I knew I'd find you here. You came here in an awful hurry. That's pretty rich coming from someone who's always running late. We're having one final get-together before heading up to the surface. So it seems like there's a lot of back and forth with the story this time around, right? We're getting two sides of it. We're getting obviously Litter's side of it, and then we're also getting Trina's side of it. So I'm guessing that this is going like way back, obviously, when they met these people. And I wonder if their stories are gonna intersect at some point. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. Don't you remember? Everyone kept asking me to come get you. How many times are you gonna make me beg you to be on time? Come on. Pretend to humor this pitiful commander's requests, will you? At least let me keep my dignity in front of the other squad members. So, do you still have concerns about going up to the surface? I was never worried. Nice try. I've seen you praying up here every day. Don't worry too much. Nothing will happen. We'll all come back safely. And when we do, we'll celebrate your first deployment on the surface. Right. I'm sure we will. Alright. I suppose we could skip training for one day tomorrow. What are you talking about? Have you heard about the Festival of Harmony by any chance? It starts tomorrow. If you're up for it, how about we all go? The entire squad. Was that really 15 years ago? Oh, right. Sorry for stopping in the middle of our work. Let's continue. Ugh. I'm tired. All I did was make a few things on the way here, and I'm already pooped. I'm not as young as I once was. I gotta let Senny take over soon. I hope she's doing alright without me. You're right. I'll stop worrying. I should focus on where we should be holding the party for her. It's important to celebrate your big debut. As Litter mutters caustically to herself, she catches sight of a massive cherry tree in the distance. Is that the everlasting Sakura? The tree stands atop a hill, its lush blossoms painting the sky pink. Standing before such rapturous beauty, Litter is rendered speechless. It's magnificent. At that moment, she spots a strange figure. Hold on, is that... Underneath the cherry tree, something that shouldn't be there is dangling from the branches. What in the world are you doing? Litter fills me in on what's happened back at the cherry blossom path. I was taking a walk with Vault, and noticed something in the distance dangling from the branches of the tree. I wondered what it was. And it turned out it was Trina, tending to the tree in a state of undress. Naturally, I couldn't leave her like that, so I raised my voice at her. I knew this would happen. Son, please. I can't go on like this. Maybe you should lay off her for a moment, Litter. Trina really seems to be in physical pain. Well, since you're here, Greenhorn, things should be better. Thank you. Just use a bit of discretion next time you get undressed. Alright. What are you doing? Litter quickly covers my eyes. But didn't you say it was okay since Sun was here? That's not what I meant. If anything, his being here makes it worse. Oh, really? Stop being ridiculous. I can't stand here and allow you to waltz around naked. I'm going to dedicate my time off to making sure you become a respectable person. Me? She just wants to be in touch with nature, okay? Just let her be. Let her be. It's fine. Nobody's here. I'm alright. I've seen these things before, okay? But I'm a NIKKE. That's not what I meant. Litter resumes her lecture. Senti did ask me to help out, so I suppose I can't let things continue on as they are. Once the commotion settles down, the three of us start to walk along the cherry blossom path. I never noticed the cherry blossoms when I was building this path. Now that they're in full bloom, they really are breathtaking. Everyone is going to love them once the festival begins. Wait, did you just say that you built this path? Yes. Trina and I both constructed it. It feels like yesterday that Trina came came to me asking if I could help build this path, which would be the stage for the Festival of Harmony. But in reality, it's been years. Time sure does have a way of slipping from you. That's right. I certainly wouldn't mind if it slowed down a little. That's why I'm always going on about this and that. We're no spring chickens anymore. We may be NIKKEs, but even we'll retire someday, or expire someday. So we have to make the most of the time we have left. And that includes not stripping to the buff anywhere we please. Where did all this come from anyway? You weren't like this before. I'm not sure. Anyway, it is kind of funny for one veteran to be lecturing another. But since I've started, I might as well add one more thing. I want you to be remembered the right way, Trina. As a kind NIKKE, you cared passionately for others, and helped create a place where people could come and feel happy seeing these flowers. You've got to live life to the fullest, and leave behind proof that we existed. That way, when our time is up, the world and the people around us will remember us honorably. Shouldn't you complete your story for those who we left behind? For the ones we left behind. Do you think there's any meaning to that? Of course there is. If you die without leaving a mark on any kind, how can you ever prove what kind of person you were? Instead, you'll become the subject of all kinds of rumors until you're eventually forgotten. That's why we have to work hard to live life to the fullest and leave behind proof that we lived it. As Litter finishes her speech, the massive cherry tree on the hill comes into view. It's been a while since I saw this. Did you see it last festival? Yes, and I thought the same thing back then. It's beautiful. The towering cherry tree seems to fill the entire sky with its overwhelming presence. As I gazed upon the cherry blossoms in full bloom, memories of the previous festival surface. Many people will probably come to see it again this year. We'll need plenty of facilities to accommodate the large crowds. I wonder if Senti will be able to handle it on her own. I hope she doesn't make something strange again. Senti will be fine. You've done a wonderful job teaching her. I want her to be more than fine. Quietly gazing at the cherry tree, Litter takes out a pocket watch. Before my time is up, I want Senti to surpass me. Only then will I be able to pass this watch on to her. What's the significance of that watch? Did it belong to Josh? Let's just say, it's proof that I've lived. Ever since I started working at Mighty Tools, I've always kept this watch on me. If you're talking about the passing down that watch, do you mean... Yes. I'll be stepping down from this job. Retiring. Anyway, Trina's been suspiciously quiet. You're not taking your clothes off, are you? Are you okay? I feel like I'm suffocating. What's wrong? I'm fine. Just go back. The everlasting Sakura doesn't need any care. It's just an illusion. It's fine to head back. Okay. We don't want you overexerting yourself. I wonder, is it that Trina has trouble accepting things that aren't in reality, or things that aren't organic? Possibly. Maybe she has she's got to have something going on with her that like it's a disconnect, right? From being something that's manufactured or fabricated versus something that should be organic. I think that's what's going on here, if I'm picking it up correctly. Greenhorn, I'll carry Trina. Can you take care of Vault? Sure. I realize you're feeling uncomfortable, Trina, but lean on me. Thank you. It's times like this where I wish I was taller. Alright, let's go. With Trina leaning on her, Litter leaves the cherry blossom path. Even though she said she was fine, Trina's expression when she glanced at the cherry tree bothers me. Almost as if there was a sense of being sick and tired of something. Are you feeling any better? Yes. Thank you for taking care of me. Glad to hear you're better. What's on your mind, Greenhorn? You seem to be off in another world the entire way here. You and Trina made the cherry blossom path together, right? Right. Then what about the cherry tree? The cherry tree? I don't understand what you mean. I heard before that the cherry tree from the surface, the everlasting sakura, had its lifespan artificially extended. That's why it's been able to survive on the Ark all these years. Could the person who carried out those measures be... As I relay the story I've heard from Sakura, Trina's body starts to tremble. As expected, the person who made the everlasting Sakura is none other than... That's right. The everlasting Sakura is one of my failed creations. Interesting! Preparing for a festival was much harder than I thought it'd be. By the time I came to my senses, it was already the last day of the festival. After finally finishing the last order of business, I dragged my exhausted body up the hill. When I got to the top, there you are. Rena was waiting for me, as usual. How was your day today? I've been so busy preparing for the festival, but I think most everything's done now. I see. Would you like to sit here for a moment? As I sat down, Rene pointed to the town below us. You asked me before what the point of plant research was. Have you still not come up with an answer? The streets below were filled with smiling attendees of the Festival of Harmony, taking in the flowers and the trees. Trina. Plant research may not directly help in reclaiming the surface, that much is true. Still, if it affords us a chance to witness the sight currently before us, for me, that alone is reason enough. By the way, did you know? The people who came to the festival are exchanging items they brought from the surface. In the spirit of that, I brought something for you. I didn't have anything I brought from the surface, so I thought I'd simply give you what's most precious to me. Ta-da! Rena handed me a small key. It's a garden key. Garden key? Yep. I want to see more scenes like this in the future, so I made a garden. My wish is that when people are looking at the flowers and trees, they'll forget their worries for a moment. I'm pouring that wish and my hope into that garden. Right now, it's just filled with saplings, so it doesn't look like much. But once they all grow, you'll be amazed. You should come and visit when you've got time. Thank you. I didn't prepare anything for you. It's fine. You've already given me plenty. I have? Yeah. I'm looking down at it right now. As Rena spoke, she gazed down at the town and smiled radiantly. Looking at her beaming, I found myself wishing for something. I wish that I could see this kind of scenery and look upon more bright smiles similar to hers. Anytime, anywhere. Hey, Rene? Yeah? I want to join Botanical Garden. So you finally come around to the idea? Then, you need to make a promise to me, alright? What is it? Never stop treasuring the plants. If you do that, you'll do right by the ones you're seeing today, and honor them. Pretty simple, right? A long time ago, there was someone who led me to Botanical Garden. At that time, Rene practically dragged me to the Festival of Harmony, kicking and screaming. It goes by a different name now, Spring Festa. That day, I saw entire crowds of people forget all their worries while looking at the flora. After seeing Rene smile for the first time since she'd arrived in the Ark, I made up my mind. I decided to follow Rena's suggestion and resolved to research plants at Botanical Garden. And that's why you made the everlasting sakura. I wanted people to be able to see flowers and trees anywhere, anytime. That way, whenever they wanted to forget their worries, they could have easy access to nature. Then I'd say you succeeded. Thanks to your research, trees are a common sight in the Ark. After years of research, the day finally came when the everlasting sakura bloomed. The first person I went to see was Rene. That's when I realized for the first time, unlike me, who had become a NIKKE, for Rene, who had chosen to live her life as a human, time passed much more quickly. In the end, Rena never got to see the everlasting sakura. My wish was nothing but a delusion. Looking back on it now, it's so obvious. All I wanted was to look upon her bright, pure smile. But I attempted to bring it about with illusions. It's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? I'm sorry. I know I'm a downer. Oh, I need to stop by the garden before it gets too late. I was told to notify them once we finish renovating the cherry blossom path. Dude, that is like gut-wrenching. Damn, dude. Oh, that hurts. It hurts so much. But I mean, we kind of seen it coming, right? Man. So every single time that she sees the tree, it's not that... Well, I mean, I guess it kind of is in a sense that it's not organic, that it's inorganic. But it's a reminder that Rena never got to see the everlasting sakura bloom, right? Damn, dude. Soon after, we came to the garden to see Flora. However, something didn't quite feel right. Am I the only one who finds this strange? No, I feel it too. Aren't there still a few more days until the festival? Yeah, as far as I know. Then why are there so many people here? The festival hadn't even begun. Yet the garden is crammed full of NIKKEs. What's up with that? How many times must I tell you? We can't be late. Don't blame me if you end up getting chewed out by the superiors. Anyway, how are you finding the Festival of Harmony? It's nice. I didn't realize how long it'd been since I've let go and relax. Well, we all need days off. If you only ever hurl yourself forward and fixate on the distant future, you'll get exhausted pretty quickly. We also never know when our time is up. So, it'd be a real shame to miss out on moments like this, don't you think? We silently looked down at the festival, which was in full swing. From up on the hill, the view of the Ark, and the sight of the people blending in with the flowers and trees, was truly beautiful. You know what I like so much about this festival? Whenever I'm looking at the greenery, all my worries melt away. When we go up to the surface, we'll get to see even more beautiful plant life than today. I can't wait. I'm excited too. Still, I don't think I'll ever forget what I'm seeing here today. Here, take this. It's the pocket watch. Why are you giving me this? Didn't you know? On the last day of the Festival of Harmony, people exchange things that are precious to them. I already gave gifts to the others. It'd hardly be fair to exclude you. That's a pocket watch you see. Ah, shit. It may look a little worse for the wear, but it tells the time perfectly. You can use that to check the time. So now, you won't have any excuse for being late. Didn't we agree to have a nice meal once we got back from the surface? You're the guest of honor, and we're celebrating a successful first deployment on the surface, so we can't have you being late to the party. This time, let's try to be punctual. I'll try. I should give you something too. It's fine. If you find something good the next time you're on the surface, you can give it to me. Litter has been lost in thought ever since we entered the garden. The sight of the NIKKEs quietly enjoying the flowers seems to have her reminiscing about old times. He was right. Sometimes, moments like this are necessary. Everyone seems so at peace. Anyway, we should try and find Flora. Yes, but how are we going to find Flora amongst all these NIKKEs? Trainer! What brings you here? Biscuit. Good timing. Huh? I really love her outfit as well, right? Because this is currently available right now, in case you guys want to pick that up. I believe it's part of the currently ongoing mission pass. So, if you guys are interested, get it now. Do you know where Flora is? Flora? I haven't seen her in a while, not after these visitors suddenly arrived. I see. I do remember her scent though, so I can try to track her down for you. That'd be wonderful. Thank you. But don't you need to take care of the animals at the shelter? I know you've been helping Flora for the past few days. Guillotine is taking care of our furry friends, so it's fine. She also brought along someone named Maiden to help her. That'll be fantastic. Anywho, just give me a minute. Or give me just a minute. I'll go find Flora for you. Biscuit runs off to the other side of the garden. Even for Biscuit, finding Flora amongst so many NIKKEs will surely take some time. While we wait, why don't I introduce you to the little ones? Soon after, what flower is this? This one is called lilac. Whenever spring comes, it breaks into a big grin, like this. Isn't it pretty? Litter and Trina are absorbed in the flowers. The more I look around the garden, the more I can feel how each plant is being conscientiously cared for. That's right. The plants here are carefully tended to maintain their natural form. The temperature, the humidity, the soil, and sunlight. Everything is carefully monitored and adjusted according to their specific needs. The fact that they're tended to with such loving care is why the plants here are able to bring out smiles in people. Because they've been allowed to remain in their natural state. Say, where do I need to go to see the arboretum? Arboretum. Come on, Gavin, you got this. You manage? Well, the arboretum will remain closed to the public. Isn't that right, Trina? Yes, that's right. It's not going to be opened? Why is that? So that Rena can rest. That's all I can say. I heard the news. you finished renovating the cherry blossom path. Yes. So, is there anything I can help with in the garden? Sorry? What did you say, Lilac? Oh my, I forgot all about that. And it's terribly important. Trina, I have one more favor to ask for you. Or of you. What's that? Before I ask, I should explain to you why the garden is so crowded right now. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. What do you mean? I thought of something while preparing for the festival. I wanted NIKKEs who work so hard every day to be able to come to the festival and rest. So I made special invitations for them. But I accidentally wrote the wrong date on them. And that's why the garden is so crowded. Exactly. It's hard to imagine someone like you making such a simple mistake. No one's perfect. Should I tell everyone that the dates are incorrect? I think it's too late for that. True. You can't send everyone back after they came all this way. Precisely. So, just for today, I was thinking of holding a festival for the NIKKEs. Oh! A festival just for NIKKEs? That's not a bad idea! Which brings me to my request. Flora hands over a stack of pamphlets. In order for the guests to fully enjoy the festival, could you help distribute these Spring Festa pamphlets? A festival before the festival. I got it. This year's Spring Festa will feature a unique promotional event. Attendees will take these pamphlets and get a stamp when they head to the specific locations. The garden, the spring fair, and the cherry tree brought from the surface. To help make this process easier, I'd like you to place these pamphlets at key locations along the route. The garden has already been covered, so if you could take care of the other two spots, that'd be great. Following Flora's request, we head toward the entrance of the cherry blossom path where the spring fair was taking place. The area is already crowded with NIKKEs who had received invitations. Rookie? Good timing. Everyone here is saying that they've got invitations saying to come today. Do you know what went wrong? Well, you see. We're having a festival before the festival, okay, Jan? And then I guess it's a good trial run, if anything, right? So she wrote the wrong dates on the invitations? What a pain. Is this going to cause any issues with the spring fair? Cindy set up the booth pretty quickly, so we should be able to get it up and running, no problem. Last time, she turned a basic general store into a high-scale luxury boutique, so I was a bit concerned. But this time, she did a perfect job. She kept the market's atmosphere appropriately modest. And the booths blended in perfectly with the cherry blossom path, just like I wanted. You taught her well, Litter. I'm doing a horrible accent for Jan, by the way. My apologies if you guys are picking up on it. I'm trying, but I'm butchering it. That's one of the benefits of watching my videos, right? You get to hear me fumble at all these accents and everything else. And I know it's inconsistent, guys. My apologies. You're certainly right about that, Jan. Oh, by the way, I have something to give you. Trina begins to explain the pamphlet and stamp system to Jan. Didn't I tell you, Litter? Senti would be fine. You're right, Greenhorn. Senti has really blossomed. That's right, and she'll continue to flourish. One day, she's sure to become as outstanding as you. Whenever people see her, they'll recall that you were her teacher. And they'll remember what kind of NIKKE you were. You'll be remembered as you should be. So, before your time runs out, think about what you want to do for yourself. For myself? Is there anything more tragic than in search of a complete death? Leaving your life incomplete? As she takes in my exhortations, Litter silently watches the bustling spring fair booths for a long time. You're right. If possible, it would be best to complete both. We're back at the cherry blossom path. All we need to do is place the pamphlets along the way as we follow the path. Are you going to be okay, Trina? Trina's gaze drifts towards the distant hill. Gradually, her eyes become stained in pink. Just before her vision is completely enveloped in rosy hues. She squeezes her eyes shut. Phew. Do you still feel like you're suffocating? Yes. If it gets too much, we can handle it from here. You don't need to force yourself up the hill. Trina's hands clench tightly, crumpling the pamphlet she's holding. After some time, she finally opens her mouth. I'm sorry. I'll wait here. You two can. Glitter gently holds Trina's trembling hands. It's okay. Greenhorn and I will go to the everlasting Sakura. Thank you. In the meantime, you can sit down here. Sorry? You heard Flora. Today is a festival just for Nikkes. It won't be a problem for us to take a short break under the cherry tree. For goodness sake, how long are you going to keep standing there? Glitter grabs Trina's hand and yanks her down to sit beside her. Greenhorn, you have a seat as well. Okay. Sitting side by side, we proceed to gaze at the cherry tree. Isn't this nice? Whenever you take in nature, you forget all about your worries. Or, you guys know what I meant. Trina, there's something I've been wondering about. What happened with you and Rene? What was she to you? Trina fishes out a key from her pocket and wordlessly fiddles with it for a long time. Is she possibly buried in the Arboretum? Then, as if she finally had come to some kind of resolution, she looks towards the distant hill and speaks up. Whenever the sun began to set, I would habitually climb that hill. I became a Nikke not long after I joined Botanical Garden. I did it in order to fulfill my wish. I need time to create the everlasting Sakura. I threw myself headlong into research, skipping meals and forgoing sleep. Eventually, I became oblivious to the passage of time. The more time I spent inside the lab, the less time I spent climbing up the hill. At some point, I was staying in the lab all the time. After who knows how much time had passed, the everlasting Sakura finally blossomed. When that happened, the first person I went to see was Rene. However, the place where I met her wasn't our usual spot on the hill, but inside a quiet hospital room. It's been a long time. Rena. That's when I realized for the first time, unlike me, who had become a Nikke, for Rena, who had chosen to forego the evergreen injection and live her life as a human, time passed much more quickly. So was it the evergreen injection that makes a human into a Nikke? How was your day today? Conducted some research in the lab. Took care of the little ones. The role reversal. Just an ordinary day. I see. For me, it's a special day. Because I get to see you. The flowers are blooming on that hill. I'm sorry that I couldn't go with you to see the cherry blossom tree. I don't have the strength anymore. I came too late. If only I'd come sooner. Trina, I have a favor to ask of you. What is it? The garden. The promise we made? Going forward. In accordance with her last wish, Rina's ashes were scattered in the garden, and her belongings were delivered to the lab. From that day on, I protected the garden so Rina could rest in peace. Is that why the Arboretum is closed to visitors? There's a tree in the Arboretum where Rina's ashes are buried. I wasn't able to keep my promise to her. Instead, I chased an illusion and ruined everything. I created the everlasting Sakura and destroyed the true value of the plants I saw that day. I ruined any hope of seeing Rina smile again. No longer was I able to climb up the hill. Despite all of it, however, I still wish for Rina to rest peacefully. It's all I have left, and so I must protect that with everything I have. That is why I can't open up the Arboretum. You regret creating the everlasting Sakura. That's why the hill instills you with fear. Yes, because Rina is no longer there. I see. Thank you for telling us. I'm sure it wasn't easy. As a token of my gratitude, I'll tell you my story. You will? Yes. It was a long time ago. Back then, whenever the sun began to set, I would climb that hill habitually. On the last day of the Festival of Harmony, people would exchange their treasured belongings. However, I never had the chance to repay Josh. The first day I went up to the surface, Josh died. He was killed by a raptor during an operation. He died trying to protect an inexperienced NIKKE. It was her first time up on the surface, and she had wandered around excitedly without thinking. He threw his life away to protect a pathetic rookie. Keep your chin up, kid. My life for yours. That's enough for me. Stop talking! You're making your wounds open up more. Litter, what kind of person am I? I hope that I'm remembered as a good person. My first excursion on the surface came to a close, and I headed to the rendezvous point. It was the first time I'd ever been on time, but there was no one else there to witness it. My comrades left behind no wills, no mementos. There was nothing left. That's when I realized dying an incomplete death only makes it harder to those left behind. Ever since that day, I've strived to ensure that when I go, I'll leave my mark. I stopped climbing the hill. But it wasn't all bad. There was a lot to do at the workshop, and my comrades were no longer there. That became my daily existence. That's when you came to visit me, Trina. The request to construct the cherry blossom path. Literally, 2 wounded souls, man. Finding a way to deal with their anguish, with their losses, work together to create something beautiful, and honor the ones that they loved and their lives. This is a beautiful event. Whether you guys want to agree or just say that it's just another little filler event to hold off before the next thing that happens in this game, this is a beautiful event. And the story writing is perfection. Once we were finished with the path, on the day of the Festival of Harmony began, I climbed up that hill for the first time in a long time. As I walked up the hill, admiring the cherry blossoms, old memories came flooding back, one after the other. Banal jokes and pranks between me and my old comrades resurfaced, and I had to stop walking from time to time as I was laughing so hard. When I finally reached the top, I stood underneath the everlasting sakura. From there, I could see it clearly. What they had left behind. Litter smiles brightly as she gazes at the distant hill. Over there, that's the resting place for my memories with my comrades. I wasn't the only one who saw it either. When I looked around, I could see all manner of people smiling brightly. Some were leaving behind new memories. Some were reminiscing. And all were forgetting their worries in that moment. I want you to witness that, Trina. Even if you're afraid, I want you to climb this hill and face the everlasting sakura. I want you to see with your own two eyes that what lies there is not an illusion. So, Litter reaches her hand out to Trina and stands up. Won't you come with me to see the everlasting sakura together? Holding Litter's hand, Trina takes a step forward. With every movement closer to the everlasting sakura, showers of pink petals fill the sky as if responding to their steps. Whew. Stay strong, Trina. We're almost there. Okay. If it gets too much, let me know. I'm okay for now. Litter tightened her grip on Trina's hand, and the two of them silently climbed the hill. After a while, Trina once again glimpses the scenery, dude, I can't speak, she had left behind on this hill so long ago. You once said that the everlasting sakura was nothing more than an illusion. Do you still feel that way? Underneath the cherry trees in bloom, throngs of NIKKEs smile radiantly, as if they had forgotten all their worries. Trina, the everlasting sakura is no illusion. If it were, how could it bring out such wholesome smiles? Your desire to preserve the value of those plants, your yearning to fulfill the promises you made to Rina, they're still alive and well. But Rina isn't here. She can't see the everlasting sakura. There's no meaning to any of this. You're right. Rina isn't here. But her wishes live on. You said so yourself. Rina wished for people to forget their worries for a brief moment while looking at the flowers and trees. I want to see more scenes like this in the future. So I made a garden. My wish is that when people are looking at the flowers and trees, they'll forget their worries for a moment. I'm pouring that wish and my hope into that garden. The everlasting sakura has helped fulfill Rina's wish. It's allowing people to be truly happy, even if just for a moment, and smile. That's more than enough to give it meaning. It also means that Rina can rest in peace. Trina's gaze turns to the everlasting sakura, the place where Rina always spoke to her. The everlasting sakura casts its shade over Trina. You're right. Tears well up in Trina's eyes, and she gazes up at the everlasting sakura. As if to comfort her, a lone petal drifts into her hand. Your family is up there, aren't they? If you let the wind carry this, it will eventually reach your family. Trina opens her hand, and petal flies up high, carried by the wind. After watching this petal for a while, Trina speaks. Thank you for bringing me here. You don't have to thank me. You're the one who brought me here in the first place. You said his name was Josh Hammond? Huh? He must have been an amazing commander to have inspired someone as remarkable as you. I should thank him as well. as well as your comrades. You're right. We should. Litter closes her eyes. As her memories intermingle with the scent of the flowers, she quietly prays that her fallen comrades may rest in peace. Litter, you said you wanted to visit the Arboretum, right? I'm gonna continue to mess with that word. Arboretum. Whenever you've got time, you're more than welcome to come visit. Sure, that sounds nice. Beneath the sheltering pink sky, Litter and Trina share stories from times long gone. The next time I see the everlasting Sakura, I will remember this day. Underneath the flourishing cherry blossoms, I quietly close my eyes. In order to remember today, in all of its beauty, for a long time. In order to not forget the memories of the past, and to forge new ones for the future. Beautiful, dude. Absolutely beautiful. Fantastic questline. And honestly, I can't wait to see what the bonus scene at the end of the hard mode is going to have in store for us, right? Very much looking forward to seeing that. Dude, this was a very wholesome, very sad and touching and uplifting event. And this is the kind of story and emotional pulls that I want from NIKKE. Especially from time to time, right? It doesn't have to be all the time, but it is very beautiful. Nonetheless, I think this was a fantastic event. Even though it may be just something that a lot of people just gloss over and push off to the side, I hope that you guys enjoyed the story and go along and read through all of it and have the same feels I did, because I think it's very beautifully written, and we get background story for Litter, who's been a character that we have been introduced since the beginning of the game, right? We get to see how much her old commander meant to her, how kind of naive she was when she was first brought up to the surface on her first deployment, and you got to see the importance of her pocket watch and, you know, the symbolism of that. You also get to see our new character, Trina, and her past and where she is now, and two of these NIKKEs and where they are now, and why they hold such value for the things that we do have in the arc, right? The things that they have built together. Cherry Blossom Path. Dude, very, very well put together questline. I'm incredibly thankful for this, and it really makes you appreciate life and makes you think about what you're spending your time doing, right? I really love that, man. I love that this was so beautifully put together, and it is very touching, and dude, it's really good, and it makes me wonder, will the Arboretum be opened in the future? Will we get to see a follow-up to this? Will we get to see Trina possibly grow a little bit more welcome to the idea of visitors within the other areas of the botanical garden? I've got a lot of things that I'm looking forward to in the future of this. I think this is a great way to kick off the year too, right? With the spring event. This is great. I think it was fantastic. Let me know your own thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this questline. And then we will look forward to the bonus scene, which I will record later. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Goddess of Victory NIKKE content. And again, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, as it helps very, very much. I appreciate it, as always. We're trying out a new recording software over here, if you guys have been noticing. I'm just trying it out to see what it's like. I don't know how the audio and everything's going to sound. One thing that I do know is that it's going to be like not something that I can adjust very well in the posts of recording of this. So if it works out well, fantastic. Let me know if you guys think that this looks better or seems better. I know that I was adjusting with the zoom and everything like that there during the recording of this, but I'm trying, and that's why I've been like uploading frequently or streaming or anything, because I want to test out certain things with this, right? But I think it's really cool the way that the scenes transition and everything with the software. So again, anyways, I really appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you all in the next one, okay? So take care. Peace.